Alright everybody, welcome. This is the Benjinator and you're watching Let's Play Xenogears, the greatest JRPG on Earth. So, this is actually going to be the first version of any LP, not just the Xenogears LP, that's done in a totally different format. So, what I actually did is I recorded all of the footage for this game up from the beginning of the second disc actually to the end of the game. So I finished playing the game last night. You know, this would be about the fifth or sixth time I've actually gotten through the entire thing. And the reason why I wanted to switch up this format is simply because I felt like I want to do something a little bit different. I really enjoyed doing the simultaneous commentary where I was, playing the game and commenting at the same time, and I thought that was really fun, and it kind of gives you a nice initial reaction to what's going on. Even though, of course, I'd played this game several times before, it's always nice to kind of be in the moment. But after some consideration, I decided that I think this would be a better product to do a post-game commentary in which I play the game, cut the raw footage into nicely edited together 15-minute episodes. So for this first episode here, I've actually already got the amount of footage that I need. I'm going to be speaking over the edited video that I've already made. So it's going to be like I'm watching myself playing, from a couple days ago. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an interesting way of doing commentary. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other LPers out there that do this, but I think I've decided to switch to that format for now. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, I'll just go back to what I was doing before. But I feel pretty good about this. So anyway, the last time that we had seen our good friend Fei, he was in a bit of trouble. Turned out that he was id. Turned out that he had some kind of, dissociative identity disorder. And the Shivat Council decided to freeze him in carbonite. But thanks to Elly and thanks to some of his friends, he was able to escape and not have his fate frozen like that of Han Solo. However, it turns out that on his way to basically getting out, there was his old foe, Mr. Ramses. He basically decided to interfere with this and shoot down Fei and Elly at the same time. So that's where we are last time, and here we go. Beginning of the second disc. That music. So the format of this is a little bit different. So last time, as you guys might remember, in the first disc you're playing the game like a regular old RPG, albeit one with an excellent story. The second disc, I like to call it an extended conclusion, where it's told in a much faster pace. And right now, of course, Fei is seen sitting in a chair, and he's going to be discussing... what he's basically discussing right now is this idea that he's lived past lives, and that he only remembers them, in kind of nebulous ways. And we've seen that Fei, of course... well, there's his name right there. There's been an indication that he used to be some guy named Lacan. So, guess what we're seeing is a flashback right now. Good stuff. Again, I'm going to try my best not to spoil anything. Oh, don't worry, I won't. I've been pretty good up until now about not doing that. So yeah, this is the... well, if you remember, we actually have this... We had this scene a while back, where, of course, in Nissan... Very early on in the game, we saw that Fei and his crew, they come to the cathedral, and they see this unfinished painting of Sophia, the woman right there. And Fei, of course, has like a brief flashback where he's actually painting. It was a while ago when we saw that, but that was pretty significant. That was one of the first instances that we saw that, along with Fei's latent abilities as id. He possibly could have had some other life going on. But yeah, turns out that Elly is always her name, right? Like in some regard, I don't think it's a coincidence that Sophia's name was also Elly, as well as the one that Fei actually met. So, of course, it was a little bit disturbing that they mentioned that what is it? That it could be the second advent of Graf, which is a terrifying idea. We saw that in the last episode, of course. One of the Shavat members, Lacan, making excuses. Yeah, it kind of seems like Lacan's definitely got a similar personality as Fei. Kind of sometimes fumbly, doesn't quite know what to do, struggles in situations and so forth. I have to say it is kind of interesting seeing this and not having a controller in my hand. It's going to take a while to get used to, that's for sure. But there clearly was... Oh, I see. So yeah, that seems like a Fei thing. You know, making up excuses for not doing something. One thing that is nice about not having to play the game is I get to sit back in my easy chair and just kind of watch this and commentate on it like it's a movie. Which, I mean, it really is. I mean, this second disc kind of feels more like you're reading a fantastic book and, you know, watching a movie at the same time. But don't worry, viewers, there is absolutely battles to be there, too. Nope. Nor did her name. Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at this now, and I'm kind of realizing I might have advanced the text a little bit fast. So, I think I got a little bit better about it as time goes on. But yeah, Fei's just kind of reminiscing about it. And this is interesting. Now we kind of get a parallel, right? So we got Fei sitting in his chair, and now we have Elly kind of sitting in hers. And she is also, I mean, we can infer that she used to be Sophia. So she might be remembering memories from the past. There's definitely been some mention about that. And also remember that Krelian said that Elly was the mother, which is a very curious thing. I mean, Krelian's a weird dude, as we know. He's kind of a twisted individual. But we have also seen that he's a pretty smart guy as well. So, twisted and smart can be a pretty bad thing. So he obviously knows a lot about Elly. Interesting stuff. And remember, too, we did see a flashback a couple episodes back where Lacan was talking with Krelian. Krelian had blue hair. He kind of seemed a bit different, but, I mean, you know, this is, we can kind of guess that this was definitely at least a couple hundred years ago, whenever Sophia was around. I think it was 500 years ago. I'm not 100% sure about that. But, yeah, we're kind of seeing this from Elly's perspective. These are obviously both flashbacks in the form of distant dream. This is obviously something that happened a while ago. It's so great, though. Like, I really, just narratively, I remember the first time I played this, I was so incredibly engrossed by this point. Like, I would play this game relentlessly just to see what happened. And it's about to get, it's gonna get even worse. I mean, when I say worse, like, even better. Like, the sickness will get worse. If you're anything like me, viewers, you will, and if you have picked up this game, Elheim, you'll want to play it to the end, trust me, especially at this point. Yeah. Elheim, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Elheim actually is it's a reference to, you know, it's kind of a transliteration of Elohim, which is a Hebrew word, which is one of the kind of Israelite terms for God. So it's pretty interesting. You know, it's kind of done on purpose. There's obviously a lot of Judeo-Christian overtones in this game, and that's just one of them. Yep. So now we're gonna get to see what Elly is thinking in this exchange, because we've already seen this exchange, but we only got Lacan's thoughts. So let's see what Ellie's saying. Even though the text might be going a little bit fast, I'm kind of glad that I don't have to sit and like advance text, because oh. So she kind of caught on that he was like psychologically tearing himself away from the situation. She's a smart woman, that Elly. Or Sophia. Or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, there is a lot of text advancing in this part of the game. So it is what it is. It's still the greatest JRPG of all time. I will never take that title away from it. Yep. Out of the era. That did not change. Only his name. Aha. Yeah, because Fei was not always Fei. It was Lacan. And we kind of have a indication he might have been someone named Kim at some point. Yeah. Because we did see some, like, flashbacks of someone that looked like Fei in, like, a lab coat when we went down to the, when we went down to that underground mine shaft. Oh, God. Fei's naked all of a sudden. There's a blue person. That's interesting. Oh, hey, Fei. At least you didn't get rid of your clothes. Ah, 3 weeks, huh? Well, he's clothed and he's not injured, so that's good. But who the hell are you? Taura. Guess so, yeah. Well, nanomachines, they can do some pretty amazing things. Uh-oh. Well, at least Ellie's not dead, right? Oh, there she is. In a fetal position, naked, conveniently. Although, I mean, we can assume they've already seen each other naked. Because, you know, we saw that, like, kind of weird shower-ish scene on Solaris. So this is kind of the same deal. Alright, now I get to see myself walk around. I was looking for anything like, you know, items or something like that in Taura's house, but you don't really get anything right now. Later on, you can come back and actually get an item, but oh, hey, Citan. Citan! Yay! Well, I mean, Citan, I still think that he's got some dues to pay. I mean, that guy absolutely almost seemed like he fucked us over in a very real way. But I'm glad he didn't. I'm really glad that was not the case, because Citan is just too cool. I mean, like, even with all of his, you know, kind of deception, he's still awesome. Working for the Emperor and all. But at least he, you know, he kept with us. When the going got tough, he joined our side, so that means a lot. Unlike Hammer. What the hell was Hammer doing? Ugh, that man. Shady, shady Hammer. Yeah. So it looks like Taura apparently has knowledge of nanomachines as well. That's pretty convenient. It's not just Krellian, because if that were the case, we'd be kind of screwed. Yeah. Same as the guy in the Solaris? Yeah. Or are you studying something different? Something a little bit more constructive and a little less, you know, awful. Oh, so you were... Well, that's kind of unfortunate, Taura, that your student turned out to be a domineering, sadistic asshole. Unimportant, come on, that's kind of important. I love how it makes that buzzing sound like it's a friggin' microwave. She's like, oh, she's done. She's all set. Oh, we can't go in and watch her get dressed? No, that's a shame. I mean, you'd think after a crash like that, you know, that would be something you'd want to see. Ah, well. Tough luck. Oh, hey, Elly. Still wearing that uniform. Well, you know, if it's comfortable, I'm not going to complain. Hey, she's all right. That's the important thing. Woo, fresh air. Yeah, I guess so. Well, I'm not sure how fresh that air is, but it kind of looks like the Black Moon Forest, which is pretty cool. I remember the Black Moon Forest. That was a really cool like setting. Just especially as like kind of like your second level. Nice introduction to the game. And that's actually where they met. Elly and Fei, they met in the Black Moon Woods. But they seem to be uninjured and okay. So that's good because if they had crash landed and died, that probably would have just been the end of Xenogears. I mean, we get the impression that Fei, of course, is just a very, very important character for all kinds of reasons. So, it just wouldn't be the same without him. Huh. Yeah, this game does an interesting job of kind of indicating that, you know, there exists some continuity beyond simple existence. By that I mean, like, you know, there's always these kind of like sense of familiarity, these like feelings of deja vu, especially between Fei and Elly, which and they keep hinting at that throughout the whole game, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, their connection, I think, is very well written. Let's put it that way. Because I know I had probably mentioned this in previous videos, but you know, there's like these kind of like romances that you see in other JRPGs, and you know, for the most part, they feel a little bit hammy. They feel a little, you know, kind of on the nose. But I think this one's a little bit better. It's a bit more subtle, but it's also more, you know, they go through a lot, obviously. Like the recent crash, but all the other stuff they've gone through together. And of course, you know, Fei convincing Elly that she needs to leave the army to be with him and join their side. That's kind of a big deal. And of course, here's Taura just cock blocking, interrupting a fantastic moment, a touching interlude, so to speak. All right, so something important's happening, right? Yeah. So at this point, yeah, I just want to kind of show off the surroundings of this little hut. There's really not that much here. Unfortunately, you can't really go anywhere, as you can see. It doesn't let you leave right now, so you know, that's kind of a thing. No treasure chests, no hidden items. It's a little bit of a shame, you know. Sometimes I kind of wish Xenogears had more of those little like doodads that you could interact with that the game doesn't really expect you to do, but you know, these things happen. So, all right. Well, that's the end of the episode. First episode of the second disc in Xenogears. See that Fei and Elly are okay. That's fantastic. We got kind of indications about what could have been their past lives as Lacan and Sophia, although we haven't gotten total verification of what the deal is there. So what does Taura have to say? What news does he have for us? And what are we going to do about Ramses? And what's going to happen now that Solaris seems to be, well, destroyed, or at least one of their major cities is gone? Find out in the next episode of Let's Play Xenogears. This is the Benchinator, and thank you guys for watching.